Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Keith. Keith is from England in the UK. So let's see what Keith has to say. Enjoy the interview. Keith, how are you today?
Good, thank you. Yourself?
I'm very well. Thank you so much for taking this interview, the time for the interview this evening. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, so before we start the game, by the way, I love your costume. I love your Superman costume.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Through the game, I'm going to explore a little bit more about it. But before we start it, tell me where you're from.
Hastings, United Kingdom.
Actually, I've been there twice, I think.
Okay.
Yes,
summertime.
On the beach, by the beach. I was walking by the beach to see the sunset.
Okay. Yeah.
What's the best part of living there, in your opinion?
The weather and the kind of country. I'm a country boy, so it's nice to be out in the countryside, but you've still got amenities. You can still get to France in you can still get to Paris in 2 hours and London in 45. So
I see. And what do you do for a living, Keith?
I'm a cameraman. I'm a video editor and cameraman.
So tell me a little bit about your job.
What do I do? I do a lot of brand marketing, lots of videoing and filming, commercial interests that are trying to. My background is documentary filmmaking in a documentary way. So I will go to a business and showcase that business in a realistic, authentic way using documentary film.
I see. And now tell me about the Superman. Tell me, I could see in your profile how your admiration, how much you love the Superman. Tell me a little bit about it.
I've always loved the character since I was a child. And it wasn't until a friend's, it was at university where I started donning the suit, but then it wasn't until I was about 22, I think, that I started doing it for charity. And that's what I love about this is it's not necessarily the cosplay side of it or the Comic-Cons. I love seeing people's faces light up and making a sick child or a sick adult kind of make their day, their week, their month. What kind of Superman symbolizes. So, and it gives me drive to train in the gym. It gives me just try and be a better person, really, and just hope, really.
I would like you to turn around a little bit so I can see your suit, your Superman suit. Wow. Oh my God, look the back. That's amazing. Oh, wow. How often do you dress up as Superman?
Probably I do about 4 to 5 charity gigs a month. Wow. And I suit up whenever I can, really. I'm a freak, so probably a couple of times a week.
All of us, we are freaks somehow.
Yeah, I'm always working on my cosplays. I've got 11 different Superman suits, all different styles.
Wow.
And some of them are for my own personal, because I like building them, and then the other ones are more like, the reason why I have so many is like when you're doing a kids event, for instance, I'm at a hospice a lot and they're sticky fingered and kids are pulling, so that's why you have so many. You kind of have different levels, one's for photos and one's for, public appearances and stuff. I've done charity runs in them as well, so it's, they only have so much. It's only so stretchy before it needs to be replaced.
Amazing. Okay, so through the game, I'm going to explore a little bit more about your passion, about your career, and about your charity work as well, okay?
Yeah, that's cool.
Are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and to share your point of views?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I have here my lovely box full of random fun questions, okay? What I'm going to do now, I'm just going to play a song just for us to move a little bit before the first question, okay?
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Let's do it. Okay, Keith, so just before we start again, through the journey, if there is a question that you don't want to talk about for some reason, you don't want to answer, I always can change, okay? It's all very friendly.
Very well, very happy to.
First question for you is, if you could change something in yourself or about yourself, what that would be and why?
I am a confident person, but I'm not a confident person. So probably more confident speaking to new people. When, believe it or not, this gives you more confidence, this suit, but outside of the suit, probably more confidence in my day-to-day life, really. So don't be shy and always be a bit more outgoing, and I'm trying to be that now.
I totally understand. I think with this, when you put it on the suit, I'm sure give this confidence. It's because you find yourself there. It's your truth there, I believe. That's why.
Yeah.
And you always been like that, like as a younger, you always have this, let's say, this a way of not being very confident with yourself.
I think I was a chubby child, and it's why I go to the gym a lot as well, and that kind of knocks confidence out at an early age because you're always the larger child, and it's why I think I went to the gym more and I hit that hard. So it's kind of, I think you're right. Since as a child, I've never been confident, but as you feel more confident, as you get older, I think you feel more confident in your skin, definitely.
Absolutely. I think you get to know yourself better, and you kind of don't give much attention for the word, the word outside, the voice, the strong voice that sometimes puts you down. I think you are more prepared to face those challenges in life. That's what age brings to us, for sure.
Definitely, definitely.
Next question. Let's do it. Right. So before the next question, tell me, what do you like the most about your job? What's it's more exciting about it? And of course, there's always a challenging part as well. What that would be?
What I could instantly say about my job is I'm always in different places. So I can be filming one day in a zoo, I can be in a cage with a tiger. The following week, I can be on top of a worldwide sports stadium filming from an angle that nobody else would be able to have access to. So it's the variety, and I get to do things that normal people can't necessarily pay to do. So it's those experiences I've had in my life which are unique, which you have, unless you are in the know or you have a lot of money, you can do it. So that's probably the best thing in my the biggest perk, as you could say. But probably the biggest this is not struggle is probably when you're in situations where it's not easy to film, where you've got to, as a documentarian, I've learned how to judge situations. So when you're in a situation that shouldn't be filmed or not filmed, what are your ethics? So basically when something involves death or somebody's upset or crying, that's when you have to have a balance of, are you trying to tell a story? And if you tell this story and you're showing somebody in distress, will it then help the people in the future, the viewers? I think we can see that at the moment with what's going on in the world. Journalists, they have to weigh up balance because they don't want to upset the person at the same time. But it's a very difficult balancing act, and that's probably the worst part of my job, is trying to have the ethics spot on.
See. All right. Next question is, what is your lucky number?
Probably 18.
Tell me why.
Never thought about it, but that's the first one that comes to my mind.
18. And do you have any connection with the number, or is some related, or just is a natural number that comes to your mind when you think about luck?
It's just a number that, if you were to ask, if you were asking me to pick a number at random, it's always 18 for some reason. I don't know why. It's just that number that I enjoy. And I feel like, I think I had a friend as well, and her surname was 18, and she could just write the number. How cool is that? That's probably why as well.
Very good, very good. Next one, let's do it. Next question for you is, what's something you always want to do but you are scared of?
Something I've always wanted to do, but I'm scared of. I'm pretty fearless. I kite surf as well, as that's one of my hobbies and passions. So I'm quite used to like heights and stuff. But I've probably, I don't know, probably something involving water. Probably something where you've like cave diving, I think. Because you always, I love water. I'm in kite surfing, I'm above it, but there's something about being trapped, I think I wouldn't like about cave diving. So it probably involves dark and caves and water, because you're always going to worry about like suffocation or those really fundamental things. So yeah, cave diving, because it would be cool as well. It would be really cool to explore places like that.
Are you more of a kind of a person who was enjoy more being around the nature, like the mountains, or on the beach?
That's a really difficult question to me. I'm very wildlife orientated in my life. I think more mountains, but I live on the sea, so I love the sea. But for me, there was more wildlife, and that's what I really love to see, mammals. So probably I'd much prefer to be inland and around a lake as opposed to the sea.
Very good. Next question. Let's do it. Before the next question, tell me, when you watch the Superman movies, do you like the old ones or the most like modern ones nowadays? What's your point of view, the difference between both, like when you think about it?
It's funny, I was talking to somebody about this the other day, and it wasn't Scorsese, it was another film director that was talking about how the modern modern superhero films are like roller coasters. They're not cinematic, they're not classics. And I kind of agree with him in a way. They're kind of sweets in a sweet store. You can overdose on them. We do with Marvel films, the Disney franchise Marvel films, but we don't you look at them and they're not classic. Whereas if you look back at the classic Reeves, which is the Superman today, although they've aged, they are still classics, and still people will refer to Superman as Christopher Reeve. Henry Cavill is a great British actor. Brandon Routh, I thought, did a fantastic job in Superman Returns, but they're not classics. There's a difference, I think, with the technology as well, played a big part of it in the 80s when those films were made. They blew people's minds at the cinema, and they invented new ways of creating these amazing scenes, whereas now we're all used to CGI. And to be honest, the more modern films are a bit disappointing because they rely too much on CGI, and they take over the story more than CGI is more dominant part in the story than the actual film and the content. So I'd have to say it's the classic ones for me. Don't mind the modern ones. They're not Superman enough anyway for me. As a true Superman fan, they're very Batman orientated. But yeah, classic always for me. Sorry if I waffled.
Do you remember the very first time when you watched the Superman movie?
Yeah, I was a kid, and it was probably around a friend's house. I was probably about 3 or 4. I remember it really vividly, and it was on TV.
Wow, amazing. I think all of us, we grew up watching those movies. I remember as well, watched the Superman. And at the time, because of technology, you felt more real. Do you know what I mean? It felt so more real. I remember watching the Superman. I remember one of the movies where he was saving this lady on the bridge. I think it was San Francisco, I don't remember. But I remember watching the movie, and I was so tense, you know? I was so tense watching it.
It's the way they move. They're not all fake muscles. It was more realistic, I think,
yes.
and more believable.
Absolutely. Next question for you is, what is your favorite TV show?
Favorite TV show? Oh, do you mean of all time or now?
Let's pick one of all times and one now.
Okay, so as of the moment, we have a comedy series over here. There isn't, I'll be honest with you, I've worked in TV and I find British television at the moment, it's in the doldrums at the moment. But there's one comedy series at the moment which I'm really enjoying, currently on TV, which is called Ghosts. I think they've remade it in America, so the American audience will know it, but it's not as funny as ours. Never is. Remakes aren't ever as funny. Just take The Office, for example. But I think all time, because I work in film, TV and documentary, I like escapism, so I like comedy. So it's probably like, as a kid, I love The Vicar of Dibley growing up, and I love those kind of comedies. There's so many, but I'm just going to say The Vicar of Dibley because I remember that's growing up. It was funny, and I think we all need a bit of jollity in our lives.
Very good. Ready for another one?
Awesome. Yes.
Let's do it. Next question for you is, what did you think was the most challenging part of being a kid?
Being a kid? Staying on trend, I think. Because I was a kid in the 90s, early 2000s, so it was all about puffer jackets and looking cool. So probably, you're an outcast if you didn't have the right coat or whatever. So I imagine now we were the first, my generation was the first of the mobile phone generation, had them in the back end of life. So I don't think there's the stress now that there is with kids who've got mobile phones, and their freedoms are they've got more freedom, but there's also a lot more bullying. So I would imagine bullying in my era was more about what you wore and what you did, and now it's probably about phones, and it's probably 24/7 with phones.
That'd be good. I think we were very lucky to grow up in that time because the technology wasn't around and we kind of lived more. I think nowadays, of course, the modernity as well brought very good things as well for the kids, you know what I mean? But in a way, I think we were very fortunate to be part of that generation that there was no mobile phones. We were just living, playing, and living life in a different way as now, for sure.
Definitely. And when we didn't have, we just didn't have the communication. If you said you were going to go to the cinema or meet up with your friends, you made sure that you were on that bus at that time to go meet them up. Now, we're just, weird, isn't it?
Go with the flow. Just go with the flow nowadays.
Yeah.
Next question, Keith. Let's do it. Okay, Keith, when I was checking your profile on Instagram, there were 3 phrases that got my attention. I'd like you to talk a little bit about it, okay? The first one is power lift by night.
So as I said, I was quite a chunky guy as a kid, as a teenager, and I started getting into weightlifting. So my free time, I try and go to the gym 6 times a week, and I do a lot of powerlifting. So
right.
Strength
Next one, egg chaser weekends.
Egg chaser. So I play rugby, which is a sport, and that's the nickname for rugby union, because it's an egg-shaped ball. Not American football, but an egg-shaped ball. And I play for my local team, and I chase. We call it egg chasing. We're chasing the rugby ball.
I love it. And the last phrase was, of course, very visible. Superman always. Why is that?
Because I try and embody what Superman stands for and does. So try and just be the best I can be. Very
good. Thanks for sharing that. Next question is, what would be your ideal day?
Ideal day? I think an ideal day for me would be with friends and family, and no worries, I think I love going on holiday and just being in their bed and breakfast and cooking and just going for walks. So an ideal day for me would be wake up nice and early, probably go for a walk or run on the sun on the beach, and then just hang out with my friends and family and cook some amazing kind of food in a really cool place, maybe with a mountain in the background, and just enjoy my time with my friends and family, because we're only on this planet for so long and we've only got our friends and family for so long.
Amazing. Are you more of a day or a night person?
I'm a morning person.
Always been?
I love mornings. I love sunrise. As you know, I make films, so light is really important to me, and although you get amazing sunsets, there's normally more people about, so sunrise is always the time for me when I love to be out with the camera.
Very good. What time you wake up, usually, your normal days?
5 o'clock.
Good, very good. I'm an early bird as well. I totally know what you mean. Exactly. No, wake up early. Your day goes so much, you know what I mean, longer, full of energy. There's so much, even your thoughts as well, your head, you will think more properly, I believe.
The world is more peaceful, and you don't, like, I can do loads of work in the morning, and then I look at the clock and it's 8:30, and I've achieved more now than I would have achieved for the whole of the day otherwise. I tend to go to the gym first thing, but then if I'm not in the gym, I try and work. And you can literally finish work at 1 o'clock because you've achieved everything, all your goals for the day.
Next question, Keith. Let's do it. My God, I feel so like that. I feel like I'm talking really to Superman. My God, amazing. Right, before the next question, tell me about your charity work.
It all started off with a friend's sick child. Well, actually, rewind. When I was at university, I did a documentary on hospices, children's hospices, and I volunteered to make a film with them, and I did. It was amazing, and I learned a lot about hospices and children's hospices. And then at university, I started getting into the Superman stuff, but I didn't think I could put 2 and 2 together. Then a friend's child was quite ill. Well, he's ill. He's got a muscle wasting disease, basically. So it only affects boys. And the thing is, DMD only affects boys. And they die at around about the age of 18, between 4 and 18. It's quite a rare condition. It does occur in girls, but that's super rare. It's like 1 in the world. And there's probably in the UK, there's about 20 kids with this. I can never pronounce it because it's got some really long name. But the representation for them to raise money to make their lives better are superheroes, because I'm not saying superheroes are exclusively boy things, but they appealed more to young kids, Spider-Man, etc. So my Kit's friend said, should we do this? And we go to the children's hospice, we do fun runs, we do walks. Then I got involved with Great Ormond Street Hospital, which is a massive hospital here in the UK, and I've done a couple of bits for them, and I just want to go and spread some joy if I can. There's nothing better than seeing somebody, like, you change their outlook on life. You can take the pain away from them for a short period of time, and you can take the pain away from families as well. And I love that thing, because you don't realise that you're with a sick child, sick adolescent, and you're just the pain's gone. It's amazing. The pain is gone, and they'll listen to you and they'll do whatever they want to say. I mean, I'll normally wear a wig, etc., but I'm not doing that for you today. But they look at you, and then you see the parents, because the parents, that's the first time in months that they've seen their child smile.
Oh.
And that, to me, is the magical part. It's great doing it for the kids, but for the mum and dad is pretty special. So I like that side of stuff. And charity fun runs, walks. Obviously, I haven't done much because of COVID. But we're now coming out of COVID now, and hope to be doing a lot more.
Amazing. I think that doing charity work, in a way, you are feeding your soul with good energy, with, in a way you are helping out, you are giving good energy for those who need it, but at the same time as well, you are building, a good place in your heart. You're bringing this good energy for yourself. In a way, you're doing your work for yourself as well. That's what I believe.
Yeah, and I think it makes me a happier person too. I think, like I said, you see the parents, and it's amazing. And I started off with saying, yeah, I do Comic Cons and stuff like that, but it's not the same kind of feeling. I can go to a Comic Con and I'm just like, a lot of them I find they're just ways to make money. That's all. Some people do amazing designs, etc., and I've got no problem with that. But I would much prefer to use the time I've put into this to change somebody's life than to make more likes.
Absolutely. Next question is, what was the last thing that made you smile, genuinely?
Can I say it because it's about Ukraine?
I mean, of course, you certainly can.
It made me smile that, well, there's two things. Recently, we've just done a big charity thing, and we've raised money to buy 60 laptops that are going out to the refugee centre in Poland. And it's a little local enterprise. We've raised the money for this, and it's just made me smile that I did smile because I got left with setting them up. I'm a bit of a tech head as well, so that made me smile and laugh because like all this expensive stuff, and then didn't realise how to set it up. So that made me smile in a way, and also the good that it's done because I'm hearing that it's already being used, which is fantastic. But like laugh, smile, I was around a neighbour's house the other week, and she told me a funny toilet story, and it just made me laugh. It was one of those laugh out moments. It was a story you had to be there, and it was a laugh out loud moment, and that was really pretty cool.
Very good, very good. Next question, Keith. Let's do it. Next question for you is tough question. How do you think will you die, or how would you like to die if you could choose?
In the sleep, isn't it? Best way. I know I had an old gentleman friend, family friend who passed away, and he just slipped away in his sleep. I think that's the best way to go. It'd be nice to have, not even your friends and family around you, but if it was peaceful in your sleep, that's what I'd like. Sorry, that's a dull answer, but
no, it's just the natural. I think most of the people, I think everyone would like just to go to sleep, and that's it, done. They don't go.
No pain, no regrets, and that's the best way.
Yeah, just go. Yeah. Next one, let's do it. Before the next question, tell me if you could have this one of the superpower of the Superman, which one that would be and why?
Well, I'm a power lifter, so it'd have to be strength.
Yes?
Yeah, because then that's what I'm always doing is powerlifting. So wouldn't it be nice not to have to go through all the grunt and grain of going to the gym, all those hours and all that stuff. Be nice. You could do a lot of good. You could do good with that power. I don't think flight would just be self-indulgent, because what could you do if you weren't strong enough to do anything? Speed, well, okay, you could get things done faster. Invulnerability, I don't want to live forever, would you?
I don't think so.
X-ray vision, well, that'd be a bit greedy again. So yeah, you're kind of left with strength and heat vision, so strength.
Very good. Next question is, what was your worst footy mouse moment?
I've got a story about one, but I didn't say it, so that doesn't count.
You can share as well then, so you can share.
It's a bit sick, but in my teenage days, I used to film weddings at university in between, and the photographer was shouting out, "Where's Grandpa? Where's Grandpa?" I needed him in the picture, and Grandpa had died the day before, and he was shouting this in front of everybody. And that is a proper, isn't it? Yeah, he hadn't listened to what the bride had said about the granddad passing away, and Grandma was in there in tears.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah. That was in front of a lot of people for that poor sod.
Oh dear, what a situation. Keith, I have 3 questions left for you, okay? Let's do it. Superman. Right, before the next one, you're saying about you have different suits, yeah, that depending the job you are doing or you are working. Which one is your favorite? Which one you feel more kind of easy to... I know it's a tough question.
Everybody asks me this question, and I'm going to say the one I'm always wearing because they all have different jobs. Like this one, you can't really go to the bathroom in when you're like at a con or whatever. So they all have different. So if I'm meeting kids, if I'm doing charity work and it's summer, then I like this one because it's light. But it's really difficult to say like one particular one because I think they've all got fantastic qualities, and it just depends on the mood and the environment you're in. In the winter, I like to wear the more modern ones because, believe it or not, they're actually quite warm. Because the more recent Superman suits are actually multiple layers to get that shine effect and that textured effect. So you're actually wearing 2 or 3 layers underneath the suit, and then so that one's horrible to wear in the summer because you're literally wearing 3 clothes, whereas this one's light, and if you get cold, you just pull your cape around you and you've got a blanket. So it's it all depends on like what one. Sorry, I can't give you a definitive answer.
It's okay. It's just a genuine answer.
It's normally like when somebody asks me, "What's the best camera to buy?" and I go, "It's the one in your hand," because you're the camera person, and if you set it up wrong, then you can have the most expensive camera in the world, and it will do just as bad a job as the worst camera in the world.
Absolutely. All right. Next question is, if you could spend an entire day with a family member, who that would be and why?
Can they be living or deceased?
Either way.
I never got to meet my grandpa. He died on the same day I was born. So it would have been, and he sounds like he was into everything that I was into. So, and I hear lots of stories, and my dad always talks about it. So I probably, because I love my grandma, I probably would have loved to have met him and have the opportunity to spend a day with him, to see and learn about him, because my dad doesn't have any sound recording, because they didn't then, of my granddad, my grandpa. And it's something I've never heard and I never will be. So to hear some voice, and this is a top tip for all you out there, get recordings of your parents, get their voices, get your grandmas, and just record their voice, put your recorder down and record it, because you'll treasure that. And that's something I would love to do. Love to meet my grandpa.
I'll tell you something now. He just said something. This message you send now, you just said now, it meant to be for me. And I'm going to tell you why. My grandmother today is turning 79 years old. And I just, before we start the interview, I FaceTime her. We were talking about it. And she was so happy that I called back in Brazil. So she was very happy. She around my family with her. And actually, I don't have any video with her. Just gave me an idea now. I'm going to ask my aunt to make a video of her talking or just saying something, because those, as you said, that can be forever. And we're always going to be able to hear that or to see that as well.
With what I've learned with making documentaries is I've made them over the years since I was a teenager and whilst at university, and I've recorded so many old people talking about memories. And what I would do is I'd take a microphone, and I don't even say get video. I say, if you put a microphone down in the room and just talk about stuff, ask them questions, because within about 3 or 4 minutes, they've forgotten that you're recording audio. Cameras are a little bit, people still play up to a camera a little bit. But if you just put a phone down, they've got great sound recordings these days, phone down or any microphone near the subject and just have a conversation. And the video and the audio I've got from some people, I've since passed, I've given it to the friends and families and even a museum, and it's so important to them because they've never got it otherwise. And I've got 60 minutes of an interviews with some people, and their family never knew some of the answers that they were telling me, and they don't have that. So do it, mate, because it means a lot. Just even get the audio.
I love the message. Thank you so much for sharing that. Wow, amazing. And I believe as well, people watching the interview, they're gonna love this idea for sure. I love it. 2 questions left for you. Let's do it. Yes. But before the next question, people watching the interview, would you like to start a career as a filmmaker, cinematographer, or a documentarist? What would be your best piece of advice for those people?
Do it yourself. Don't. I went to university, and I was very lucky that I was on the only course of its type in Europe. But even then, I would say don't bother with university. I would say start making. You are in a generation now where YouTube is there. When I was in my first year of university, YouTube was born. We didn't have the same opportunities as you guys now do. So instead of wasting all that money on going on for a degree, go and make some films and go and get some experience when you're in college, when you're at school, even on a gap year, and then go and do some work experience if you can. Don't spend money going to university to do this. It might seem like an easy way out, but the reality is in the UK, the reality for this isn't video, this is photography admittedly, but 2% of students that study photography at university work in that industry, and that includes the people that process the film down at your local chemists. So it's so minutiae. So it's much better to go out there, get some experience, make your own content, spend that money on making that content, buy some decent gear, and you will get to places. And reach out. This is something I did learn. Reach out to your favourite TV filmmakers, your favourite documentarians, whoever. Send them a letter, send them an email, look at the credits, the ones on TV, and they often are never really spoken to, or they never get any feedback. I'm not talking big filmmakers, I'm talking TV and stuff, and they will talk to you like a human being because they don't normally get appreciated. And if you just reach out to them, normally I had my break and I got in touch with a couple and they were fantastic to me, and I'm still in touch with them 20 years later.
Very good. Next question for you is, if you were in a circus, which character would you like to be and why?
Well, I think you know the answer to that one because I'm a powerlifting background, so it'd be the strongman. And ironically, that's how Superman and why Superman has his red trunks.
Oh, really?
Because they wanted to base this super character off somebody that was strong and powerful, and the strong men of those days used to just wear the white fronts. So that's why they gave him the red white fronts over his suit, because it replicated a strong man.
There we go. Learning every day. Ready for the last one, Keith?
Go for it.
Yes, last question. Let's do it. But before the last question, as I can see how much you love, how much you can see yourself with the suit, wearing the suit, yeah? Tell me, what's the difference of Keith wearing the suit, and what's the difference of you not wearing the suit?
I feel stronger in the suit. I feel more confident in the suit, and I'm just a more confident person in the suit, and it makes me feel like I can make a lot of people happy.
Great, very good. Next question. Say again?
Final question.
Yes, final question. Let's do it. What do you think people need to know about each other before they start a relationship?
You've got to be accepting of each other, and you've got to understand what the other person is. Like, for me, I'm still single. I've had relationships in the past, but I've always had a relationship where they like this side of me. The wacky does this charity stuff, and the non-wacky loves my wildlife stuff and chilling out on the TV. So you've got to be accepting of each other, and you've got to be happy with each other and comfortable with each other and trust one another. From weddings when I was back in the younger days, I think I learned that don't rush into a marriage. Learn each other and love each other for who you are. Don't get engaged like that. It always ends in a mess, because you actually, I remember when I was filming them, 10 to 1 couple, and they said, what are we going to do next week? What are you doing next weekend? And they looked at each other and went, well, I don't know, we haven't got any wedding planning to do. I'm like, well, what did you do before that? And they said, well, we just got married really quickly. So they actually hadn't got to know each other, really. They were just planning this big day. So I always think that you should just take your time, enjoy the ride, and make sure you're 100% into each other and committed to each other. And there's me waffling on.
Beautiful. I love it. Okay, Keith, not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game, okay? I'm going to give away some words, and just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking, okay?
Yep.
So, I hope you are enjoying the interview. Before we do the word association game, don't forget to give a like, don't forget to share this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just click on the button right there. Thank you so much and enjoy the word association game. Family.
Friends.
Money.
Need.
How about love?
Need.
Oh, sweet. Come on, the Superman needs love. Come on. One word for sex.
Fun.
One word for life.
Live it. That's to live.
It's okay. Politics.
Liars.
Religion.
Complicated.
One word for fear.
Overcome.
Friendship.
Important.
Desire.
Dangerous.
So true. Regrets.
None.
Success.
Beholder.
One word for wish.
Hope.
How about happiness?
Family.
One word for Hastings.
Seaside.
One word for England.
Home.
One word for filmmaker.
Difficult.
One word for documentaries.
Life-changing.
Amazing. The last one now, Superman. One word.
Hope.
Hey. Let's pretend now I'm going to have a coffee with your best friends, and I'm going to ask your best friends, tell me the most beautiful thing about Keith, and tell me something that he still needs to work on, to improve on. What your best friend will tell me?
My best friend would probably say patience. And yeah, patience.
Patience is a negative thing or positive thing?
Negative.
And what would be the positive?
The positive would probably be friendly. I'm too friendly. I talk too much and try and make people too comfortable. But I think that's part of this, because you try and strike up conversations.
Let's play now, Keith and the Magic Box, and you can ask me a question. But before you ask me the question, I would like to pose a little bit of the Superman. I would like to see the thing behind. Wow.
Yeah, I'll just show my cape. And yeah.
Super.
I can't really get any more back, but yeah.
Yes, amazing. Okay, Keith, you can ask me a question now.
Why did you leave Brazil?
Good question. Right. As a young teenager, when I was 12 years old, 11 years old, I started studying English, and I've always been very passionate about the language. I remember studying English almost every single day. I just loved the language. I fell in love. And I always had the dream of living in a country where the mother language was English, and I could speak English every single day. So the main reason of living in Brazil was that, but at the same time as well, I always want to live, go after my dreams, and to be able to help my family back home, to give some opportunities for my mom, and to be able to give some support, some opportunities for them as well. But I always been very adventurous. I left Brazil when I was 19 years old. I moved to Portugal. I was living there for 5 years, and I've been living in London for the last 17 years now, since 2007. So it's been a beautiful ride so far. And yeah, that's the main reason. But the main reason I left Brazil was just because of the language. I'd love to improve my English, and also to be able to help my family and go after my dreams.
And do you like London?
I do. I feel like London is home now. I like England. I like I think in other lives I was English, because I feel so homely. I feel like this is my place, you know. I think London, it's a city of opportunities. It can go very fast as well. Sometimes you can feel very lonely because it's such a big city, but it fits me well. I think it's a place. It's so funny how life takes you in a direction that you're not expecting. Portugal was not on my plans. London was not on my plans. You know, back in Brazil, we tend to go to America, the America dream, to live in the USA. You know, we always have this dream. Long story short, I had the opportunity to go to Portugal, and I didn't think twice. And I'm in England, I'm in London, and I'm so glad and happy to be here, for sure.
Hopefully one day, if you're ever in Hastings, give me a tap up and
I will for sure. Next time when I come, I will call you. We can go for a coffee, and I'd like to have opportunity to see you maybe dressed as Superman as well. It'd be nice to have some pictures. I'd love that.
Definitely, I'm up for that.
Keith, did you have a good time? Did you enjoy the interview?
I did. Thank you very much. It was a great experience and made me think.
Thanks so much for taking the time on the evening for the interview. But before you go, would you like to share a positive message or a positive quote, something that inspires you in life?
You have to be comfortable in your own skin, and don't listen to what other people tell you. And I'm talking to the cosplay community here, probably more, but just be yourself and be happy and be kind to one another. We're in a world at the moment where there's so much unkindness that just a little action can make somebody's day, even if you don't even think it's much of an effort on your behalf.
Amazing. It's so simple, isn't it? Being kind is such a genuine and simple way of behaving. And let's spread kindness around the world. I think the world can be a better place for sure if everyone takes this path.
Definitely.
Have a nice week and keep in touch. Good night.
Take care.
Thank you very
much. It's been fun.
Bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.